Director of Campus Safety Chuck Gantos is stepping down at the end of the year, and we have information about his replacement.
Kind of sounded like a cannon going off next to my head.
Plumbing problems in colonnades were keeping her awake and affecting her studies.
Learning from each other and finding redemption behind bars. I'm Addie Haney.
And I'm Sophie Nielsen-Colding. All that and more tonight on Phoenix 14 News.
A new head of campus safety and police has been hired, this after students protested one of the candidates. Welcome to Phoenix 14 News. Thanks for joining us.
David Hodges joins us live with information about the new head of campus safety and information about why students were upset with one of the candidates. David.
Sophie, Dennis Franks was named Elon's new director of campus security and police today. His first day of work will be March 26, leaving his role of deputy chief of police in Pekin, Illinois. The Northwestern Police School grad rose through the ranks for 15 years in his hometown of Pekin before being selected to take over here for Chuck Gantos, who served 15 years at that position. Frank says he has big shoes to fill, but that he's looking forward to the challenge.
I'll speak for myself and my family. We were very excited about this opportunity. And really, my police philosophy is kind of a boots to the ground philosophy. I like to get out and develop relationships and get to know people. I think it's very important for the campus safety and the police to get out and know the people of their community.
Frank says he's worked with students as an adjunct professor at an Illinois university, but not much as an officer, and will approach issues like underage drinking in his own way.
I believe in alternative solutions to problems. You know, making an arrest is not always the best solution.
He's also dealt with drive-by racial slurs, similar to what happened in Elon in the fall, and Frank says he takes the issue seriously.
When we do have a hate crime issue come up, if we can make an arrest, we make an arrest, because those are the types of issues that I think have to be dealt with quickly and as effectively or as efficiently as possible.
The selection of Franks comes at the end of some conflict during the search process. One student wrote an email expressing opposition to the university potentially hiring current campus investigator Dan Engel because of his voting record in the state legislature. Engel voted against the School Violence Prevention Act, which aimed to prevent bullying of students based on gender identity and sexual orientation. This student asked others to forward the email on to Gerald Whittington, who headed the hiring process, but he said the decision was made before he received the many emails. When I asked him if Representative Engel's legislative history made an impact on the decision, he said he couldn't comment on those kinds of personnel issues. But current campus police chief Chuck Gantos did have this to say about the man taking over his job, Dennis Franks.
I had an opportunity to spend several hours with him. Very impressed with the young man. He's got great credentials, but I think his people skills are just outstanding.
That's all I have on the new campus police chief. Back to you, Sophie.
Some students are concerned about plumbing issues in the colonnade's residence area and have been for most of the year. Brian Mazurski shares one student's experience and what Physical Plant is doing about it.
Kind of sounded like a cannon going off next to my head. It rattled my bed and it would wake me up when I slept with earplugs.
Freshman Taylor Davis noticed at the beginning of the year there was something unusual about the wall next to her bed.
There was a banging sound anytime that someone flushed a toilet.
Davis, along with other students living in colonnades, filed complaints with Physical Plant. There were complaints about inconsistent hot water temperature, the water pressure when toilets are flushed, and odd pulsing of shower heads.
This is the wall in Taylor's dorm that has been causing her problems. And if we take a walk to the other side of the wall, we can see that it's covered with pipes.
As the months went by, it got so aggravating. I started hitting the wall back. It would distract me from my work just because I was so annoyed. This was affecting how stressed I was while I was doing work and how much sleep I was getting. And I think that's a big deal. It's affecting my academic performance.
Davis filed 4 different work requests throughout the year, and these led to water tests in colonnades, which meant shutting the water off for short periods of time. And after the second water test in the building on Tuesday, Physical Plant Plumbing Supervisor Jimmy Curriaza told us in an email that there were erratic pressure fluctuations during times of multiple toilet flushes within the building. Because of this fluctuation, the hot water valve would not stay locked, which explains the inconsistent hot water temperature and the pressure problems with the shower heads. Physical Plant installed a new water pressure tank, which solved the problems. Curriaza says Physical Plant will continue to monitor the buildings. Now, Davis doesn't have to hear any more banging pipes caused by the inconsistent pressure.
It feels so good. I'm so happy that it's gone.
Brian Mazurski, Phoenix 14 News.
And there are plenty of other repairs happening around Elon. New sidewalks will be put in around the town of Elon. The town is repairing sidewalks, pavement, lighting, and storm drains along East Trollinger Avenue and East Lebanon. The project is estimated to cost $600,000. $490,000 will come from Elon University, and the rest will come from Powell Bill reserves. The town is still accepting bids for the project, which will start later this spring. Our generation is benefiting and suffering from constant technology use. That's according to a survey done by the Pew Research Center and Elon University. The survey calls people in their 20s and younger the always-on generation because of the constant connection to technology. The survey, which was taken by more than 1,000 technology stakeholders, predicts that generation always-on will be quick-acting multitaskers. The survey also predicts that we will exhibit a thirst for instant gratification. Communications professor Jana Anderson took part in the survey.
They do warn we have to think about what we're doing with these tools, and we have to continue to be deep thinkers, serious readers, and really well-informed people as we operate in this free society of ours.
Many students drink coffee to keep them going, but the caffeinated beverage may do more than keep you awake. According to the Nurses' Health Study, which investigates women's health, there's a lower risk for depression for coffee drinkers than those who don't drink coffee. The study found that polyphenols in coffee help regulate blood sugar and even prevent deadly blood clots. But drinking too much coffee isn't safe. The study found that healthy adults can safely drink 3 8-ounce cups of coffee each day.
You might have noticed more tours than usual this past weekend. That's because on Friday and Saturday, Elon hosted its annual Fellows Weekend. More than 600 high school seniors from across the country packed Moseley despite the rain and cooler weather. Every year, Elon hosts students interested in its Fellows academic and scholarship program. Weekend activity for prospective fellows included dorm tours, panels, an evening reception on Friday, and an interview and mini class on Saturday. We spoke to one finalist who tells us why she applied to Elon and the Fellows program.
Definitely the academics is a strong thing. They have the programs that I'm looking for, environmental studies and international studies. Both are extremely strong programs, and community service and just different opportunities in the community.
There's a new organization on campus looking to make students more global-minded citizens. The program called Elon Partners in International Development focuses on working internationally. Sophomore Carly Tustin co-founded the group after her trip to Ghana in January. The goal is to take experiences from studying abroad and continue them back at Elon. Right now, the group has a focus in Ghana, but Tustin says the group will expand and that it's more about the people they're helping, not just the country.
And I think one thing we want to do is try to get other people to realize just how wonderful these people are and just how much they deserve and how much we want to help them.
The women of Delta Sigma Theta sorority hosted their first annual Day of Service community event. The sorority sent 30 to 40 Elon students out to 12 different community service sites in both the Elon and Burlington communities. We spoke with the sorority's president to find out why this Day of Service program is important.
So Impact Day is a national initiative for our sorority, and we just wanted to take the time to get Elon students involved, not only in the Elon community, but the outside Burlington community as well, because there are a lot of family and people out there that need help. So we found it was an excellent opportunity to get Elon students involved in outside of Elon bubble.
This month marks the third and final year of the Ignite Challenge. The challenge encourages current seniors and alumni from the last 10 years to donate money to the university. During March, all gifts of $20 or more will be matched 5-to-1 by Elon alumna and former CEO of Wendy's International, Carrie Anderson. There were 628 donors in 2010, and in 2011, almost 1,400 donors.
A community of Elon students took time this weekend to exchange clothing instead of buying new clothes to save money during these tough economic times.
You could pay a whole month of rent with the amount of money that you would save if you actually wore just the clothes that you needed.
On Sunday, the service learning community held a clothes swap event in the Oaks for students. Senior Mary Yost sees donating and reusing clothes as a great way of living in today's economy.
If you really think about it, you kind of wear the same outfits over and over.
When Yost does buy new clothes, she's careful about where she shops.
I try to either look for clothes made in the U.S. or look for companies that have good practices, or I just go to thrift stores.
Yost lives in the Oaks where she pays $610 a month for a year's lease, and that adds up. Plus, the closets are really big to fill up.
You might feel like you want to fill it up, but I wear maybe a tenth of what is actually hanging in that closet.
Yost believes recycling clothes will pay off in the long run with the items she donated.
They're all my sister's, but that's a couple $100, and who knows if she wore them. And I never wore them. She gave them to me, and they sat there, and now I'm donating them.
Brandon Marshall, Phoenix 14 News.
More than 200 clothing items were donated to the Salvation Army in Crossroads, a domestic violence women's shelter in Burlington. Coming up, he graduated from Elon 22 years ago, and he's using what he learned then to reach thousands.
It's like we're brothers in here, and those are our kids.
They say a dog is a man's best friend. These men and their dogs have become a family in a place that you wouldn't expect.
I have tips on how to put away some extra money for a rainy day, coming up in this week's College Consumer.